Can you ever truly forget betrayal? Picture this. 11 years of marriage, a child you both adore, shared dreams, sacrifices, and a quiet understanding that the two of you were building something lasting, only for it all to collapse in a single, quiet, devastating moment. He wasn't anyone extraordinary by the world's standards, just a man who worked hard, loved deeply, and gave everything he had to his family. But behind his back, another story had been writing itself in silence. It began with small oddities, strange text notifications, unexplained absences, and finally, a single confession from the one person who unknowingly shattered his illusion of loyalty, his son. What do you do when everything you believed in is suddenly turned inside out? How do you survive the quiet kind of heartbreak, the one that doesn't come with screaming or slammed doors, but with a calm so heavy it feels like drowning? They were both 35. High school sweethearts who had watched their small rural town slowly morph into a bustling suburban sprawl. When they graduated, the entire senior class barely passed 200 students. Now, over 500 kids fill the halls. He had been raised on a farm, taught resilience by a father who kept things running after his wife, his mother, walked out and never looked back. From a young age, he learned to work, taking over chores, harvesting, helping until his dad leased out the land and got a job at the factory. During the Great Recession, they were able to buy more property, one of which had a house. That house was handed to him to rebuild, his first real home, where he imagined raising a family. His wife came from a modest background, but had a warmth about her. Her family embraced him early on, and by the time they graduated, their bond had already begun. He worked whatever jobs he could, painting houses, hauling scrap, anything honest that put food on the table. When things stabilized, they got married. Eventually, they welcomed a son, bright, energetic, and constantly on the move. She stayed home to care for their boy while he took on more responsibility, working long hours as a route driver for a well-known snack company. His territory stretched across rural and suburban communities, but the promise of a supercenter opening soon meant the potential for full ownership of his route, a life-changing step for them both. Their marriage was never perfect, but was filled with effort and love. They faced their share of distance, mostly due to his demanding work schedule. Still, he showed up when it mattered. Their son's games, his milestones, he never missed them. She was involved in his life, too, especially when it came to sports. Over time, he noticed a shift between them, the kind that creeps in slowly. They addressed it openly, admitting the spark had dimmed. But from late April through mid-June, they rekindled it. Passion returned so fiercely, he found himself struggling to keep pace with both work and love. But come July, the rhythm faded again. In August, a new energy sparked briefly, then vanished by September. That's when flag football started, and their son was hooked. One afternoon, he showed up at practice and saw her beside a man he recognized, Benjamin. Clipboard in hand, she was coaching, not just helping. She had volunteered, it seemed, and now dedicated herself to it fully. She was on her phone constantly, texting, calling, always with something to organize. After school, she and their son went to Benjamin's house often. Apparently, both boys were training together, and to be fair, their improvement on the field was obvious. Game day came. He clocked out early, made his way to the field, and there she was, standing next to Benjamin like they had been doing for years. He sat on the sidelines, and moments later, Miranda, the ex-wife of Benjamin and his longtime friend, joined him. As the game unfolded, she leaned over and, with concerned look, asked about his marriage. He brushed it off. Things were fine, he said, but Miranda wasn't convinced. Her son had seen something. On a rainy day, practice was canceled. While the boys played video games, he went to the kitchen for a drink and saw something he wasn't meant to see, his mother's best friend kissing his father. A secret revealed by the most innocent voice possible. He didn't react immediately. That night, he woke before dawn, earlier than usual. While she slept, he picked up her phone. After several tries, he cracked her passcode. And then it was all there, an endless stream of texts, explicit photos, conversations dripping with familiarity and desire. He captured everything. Proof, truth, betrayal. From that day on, his approach shifted. He went through the motions, but he watched. He noted the lies, the deflections, the subtle changes in her routine. On more than one occasion, he drove by Benjamin's house and saw her car in the driveway. When he brought up, she made excuses, shopping, errands, the usual noise. He didn't argue. He let her talk, and he listened. Then he planned. He announced a surprise lunch visit one afternoon and parked near Benjamin's. She left his house quickly and beat him home. When he arrived, she was already in the kitchen, slicing bread and smiling. They chatted like normal. He didn't let on. Later that week, he took their son to his dad's house for a weekend fishing trip. When he returned, she was gone again. Her car, parked once more outside Benjamin's. He called her. She sounded irritated when she picked up. He asked where she was. Silence followed. Then he told her come home. Calmly. No accusations, no yelling. She returned furious. Accused him of paranoia. He remained still, composed. He asked her to sit. She refused. He insisted. Then he pulled out the folder. Printed screenshots. Conversations. Images. Evidence. She screamed about privacy, about how he shouldn't have looked through her phone. But when the photos hit the table, her voice crumbled. She cried, apologized, begged. He asked her one simple question. What did you think was going to happen? She didn't answer. That night, he told her she had a week to pack her things. The following Monday, he would meet with a lawyer. She could take her personal belongings. The rest would be handled in time. Since then, he's been living at his father's house. He explained to their son what was happening, that they wouldn't live together anymore, but nothing would change in how much they both loved him. The boy would stay in his own home, in his own routine. When he returned the next evening, her belongings were gone. Now she picks their son up after school. She can stay at the house until he returns or take him to her parents. Whatever she chooses. Despite everything, she's still his mother. They have to co-parent. The divorce is underway. He won't embarrass her by serving papers in public. She already knows they're coming. She asked for more of her belongings. His lawyer advised against it. She'd have to go through the court. He doesn't care much of the items anyway. He'd give them up without protest. Yet, interestingly, she hasn't asked for makeup or clothes. What she wants now is unclear. People often ask what she's doing. She lives with her parents now. Their son spends his afternoons there until he finishes work. He's changed his schedule to be home by 5 p.m. daily, ensuring their son has stability. His lawyer is protecting his business interests during the divorce. His father even offered to buy the route and keep him on as an employee if things got complicated. He knows child support is inevitable. He understands they'll share custody. Nights are quiet now, lonelier once his son is in bed. But he keeps himself busy with personal projects, staying focused on rebuilding his life. Friends have stepped up, meals, babysitting, small kindnesses that meant more than they probably realized. Last Saturday, instead of spreading out along the sidelines, parents pulled their chairs closer to his. A silent show of support. Only one game remains before playoffs. Basketball season starts next. Nearly every parent has requested that Benjamin not be assigned as a coach. As for Miranda, people ask if something might happen between them. She's brilliant, kind, and one of the strongest people he knows. But right now they're both healing. Rushing into something new would only blur the lines. And besides, she has her own past to resolve. Her ex came back recently, likely hoping to make things right. So, no, romance isn't on his mind. Not now. This chapter of his life has come to an end. Betrayal doesn't just break hearts. It shatters foundations. When someone chooses deceit over honesty, they not only destroy the bond, they erase everything that came before it. Trust, once broken, can't be forced back into place. But even in heartbreak, there's space to begin again, to rebuild not with illusions, but with truth, with self-respect, with strength. And now he moves forward, not bitter, but wiser. Not angry, but clear. There's peace in knowing you gave your all. There's power in choosing yourself after someone else didn't. That's where healing begins.